What's going on, Dolphin fans? It's Mitchell Rents from Chat Sports, and it's mailbag time. If you want to get featured on a future mailbag, I need you to do two things. First, you got to hit that subscribe button, and usually in the middle of the week, I post a picture on our YouTube community that says, hey man, get those questions in. So every question that you see here is from that community post. Let's go to the very first one. It's coming in from Tom Jones. If they didn't keep Flores after 2 winning seasons, will they keep the new guy after he goes 5-2? Well, first off, I would say yes, they are going to end up keeping Mike McDaniels because sooner or later the Dolphins have to realize, all right, we have to start building around somebody. Flores also lost in his first year, though I don't know if Mike McDaniel and this Dolphins team is a 5-12 team. I don't think that they're a above 500 team as it stands right now, but you have free agency, you have the draft, you have a lot of other ways that you can get better. So to sit here and say they're going to be 5-12, I think that's kind of giving this team the short end of the stick. Let's go to the next question. It's coming in from Corey Naylor. If Tua winds up having a spectacular season and makes it to the playoffs, do you think big-time free agents would consider the Dolphins over the Chargers and the Bengals in 2023? I do find it interesting that you chose the Chargers and the Bengals. Is it because those teams have some money? Or actually, it's because of Justin Herbert and it's because of Joe Burrow. I mean, potentially, right? I think there's a lot of people out there that would like to move to Miami. I mean, think about it. If I was a big-time celebrity and I was a millionaire, I would go to Miami over Cincinnati. I don't know if I'd choose it over Los Angeles, but that would be very intriguing. And the fact that the Dolphins have money, I know players, they like money as well. So if you can get paid, go to a city and go to a team that you believe can win right now, yeah, absolutely people are going to start picking it. So here's one thing that I want you guys to do. I appreciate everyone who submitted their questions, but I know there's going to be ways that I answer those that some of y'all are going to like and some of y'all aren't going to like. So if you see your YouTube name on today's show, what I want you to do is I want you to share it on Facebook. And if you're wondering, all right, how do I exactly do that? You got to click the share button underneath this video. You see that share button? That's what it looks like. Then you select the Facebook icon and then click post to Facebook. Post it in some Dolphins community. Post it in some random Dolphins Facebook group. See what they have to say. That way you can get more of an idea of the question overall. Let's go to the next one. It's from Ruthless Productions. Do you think the Dolphins will draft a wide receiver? I believe you mean with the 29th pick. If yes, which one would you think it might be? Personally, this one depends on what happens in free agency, because if it was up to me and there's one of the top offensive tackles like maybe a Rayman from Central Michigan or a Trevor Penning available, then those guys might be the route I go. However, if, Chris Olave is on the board, I love Chris Olave, but you could see somebody like a Jahan Dotson, a Traylon Burks. I don't see Drake London falling that far. I don't see Garrett Wilson falling that far, but let's just say if it's between Trevor Penning or Jahan Dotson, I would take Trevor Penning. If it's between Chris Olave and y'all didn't do anything in free agency to go out and get a top receiver, I might end up actually picking Chris Olave over Penning, though the more tape I watch on Penning, the more I love that kid. So what do y'all think here? Be the GM, be better than Chris Greer. Do you want the Dolphins to draft a wide receiver in round 1? I want you to type Y for yes, N for no. I don't know if there's necessarily a wrong answer, though this is a really deep wide receiver class, and I like the wide receivers that you could potentially get at pick 50 a lot more than I like the offensive tackles. Let's go to this next one coming in here, and I never know how to call it. Sorry if that's a shitty answer, but I'm going to go Caca Cacac. If Miami trades for Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver from the Atlanta Falcons, and signs top-tier offensive linemen and drafts a running back, is that enough to win the division, or do they still need more? A lot of y'all are probably not going to like the answer I have here, but I really truly believe that as long as Josh Allen is in the division with the Buffalo Bills, and as long as Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback for the Dolphins, you're just not going to compete with Buffalo. It's the truth, in my opinion. Even if you go out and get Calvin Ridley, if you sign some top-tier offensive linemen, if you get a top running back, I just don't see a world where Tua is ever going to be able to compete with a guy like Josh Allen. Let's go to Bill Gilmore. This one's coming in. Could the Dolphins package the 29th pick and say Devante Parker to a top 15 pick to get an offensive lineman, or could they land somebody like Brandon Scherff? Could they get somebody like Brandon Scherff? Yes, and in fact, if I was Mike McDaniel, if I was the entire Dolphins organization, if I want to be a run-first team, I want to go out and get Brandon Scherff. I personally believe he is the best run-blocking right guard in the National Football League. He's mean, he's nasty, and he really would set the tone on that offensive line. To your first question, the 29th pick in Devante Parker is just simply not enough to get up to 15. A lot of teams don't value Devante Parker's contract. Why? Because he's never fully healthy. So if you were to package the 29th and Parker, I'd say you might be able to get up to pick like 23 or 24. If you're trying to get up to pick 15, you probably got to do 29th, Devante Parker, and then maybe even a first-round pick in next year's draft. So if you guys want to stay up to date on the latest news, rumors, NFL, NBA, college football, the USFL, Chat Sports is the company that I work for, and we cover it all for you. So if you like today's show, we do a whole bunch of mailbags on our main YouTube channel, which you can see at the link below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We go live multiple times a week. We do a bunch of mailbags over there. We do videos like PFF mock draft reaction where Aaron Rodgers gets traded. We also do one where you can see 2022 NFL trade candidates. At the end of the day, here at Chat Sports, we believe in being interactive. We believe in providing good content, and we believe that it all should be for free. So if you want more videos, go ahead and subscribe. The link is available in the comments and in the description of this video. Let's go to Rantavious Williams. How would you feel if the Dolphins picked running back Dameon Pierce in the draft from the Florida Gators? I think Pierce is a good running back, and I don't want to sit here and bash the guy. However, he's not somebody that I'm going to take outside of day 3. Round 5, round 6, potentially round 7 style of running back. If the only dude that Miami came out with at the draft is Pierce, and they didn't address a lot of their needs in free agency at the running back position, like if I'm sitting here going, all right, it's Myles Gaskin and Dameon Pierce, I'm going to be like, here we go again. I don't see that the route Mike McDaniel goes. Now, if you want to take a running back earlier on, maybe like a Kenneth Walker, an Isaiah Spiller, a Breece Hall, and then you want to get Pierce as another running back later on in the draft, that way you don't have to go out and spend big in free agency, that's a different answer. I like him, but he's not going to be your main running back. Let's go to Winter Skull 69. Should Miami try to trade up from pick 29? The only reason why I'm going to say no to this is because when I look at the Dolphins roster from top to bottom, they have a lot of glaring needs at some major positions. The offensive line, glaring need. Running back, need. Wide receiver, glaring need. And then even like inside linebacker is a bit of a need there. Depending on what they do with Mike Gesicki, could be tight end. So if I was Miami, I would hang on to a lot of those draft picks and then try to build your team that way, because if you trade up and you give up some of those premium picks, I just don't think one player is going to be good enough to really get the team going unless it's a quarterback. And for that, I would trade for a quarterback. I wouldn't take him in the draft. Let's go to CJ Marrero. Who are the top tight ends in free agency the Dolphins could get if they choose to not re-sign Gesicki? Well, in terms of some of the top tight ends, I got Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys, though. He could actually get franchise tag, but I would take Gesicki over Dalton Schultz. In fact, I'm going to take Gesicki over every single tight end that I mentioned here. David Njoku. Njoku, good pass catcher, but he can't block, just kind of like Gesicki. Gronk's going to retire, sorry. Zach Ertz, he's getting up there in age. Gerald Everett, he's not better than Gesicki. You got Evan Ingram. I would say those are your top free agent tight ends, and what do they all have in common with Gesicki? They're more pass catchers instead of blockers. Let's go to this next question coming in from Kevin. I think a lot of y'all are asking because I did a video around either Emmanuel Ogbah or Mike Gesicki being franchise tagged. Should the Dolphins sign Gesicki if they are going for the run-first offense? Gesicki isn't the best run blocker. Well, to be honest with you, he's not really a good blocker in general if we're just being 100%, especially for a tight end. Before I give my answer, you guys can go ahead and let me know, should the Dolphins bring back Gesicki? I want you to type 88 for yes. You can type 0 for no. If you don't know why you're typing 88, then I don't even know why you're watching this video here. I'm going to type 88 for yes because the way I look at it is, you know what? You're right. He's not a good run blocker. But if you're telling me, I think we'd all agree, Gesicki right now, I'd actually franchise tag him at $10.2 million. Gesicki with over 70 catches, over 700 yards in back-to-back seasons. I think he would actually be a pretty solid receiver. And if you can get a receiver on a one-year deal at $10.2 million, somebody that knows Tua and has that connection, I personally believe that it's worth it. This next question is coming in from Daniel King Jr. Will the Dolphins re-sign Duke Johnson because he might be of great use to Mike McDaniel's offensive scheme? Personally, if it was up to me, yeah, I would actually bring back Duke Johnson. I was impressed by his ability to fit in the Dolphins' offense. Now, that was last year. The way that Mike McDaniel's going to run his offense, he wants more zone scheme, which I think Johnson could do an okay job. But realistically, what you're going to look for is a pass-catching running back. And I know Duke Johnson can catch the football. If, let's say, you want to go ahead and bring back Duke Johnson, then you have Myles Gaskin, Duke Johnson. Then all you got to realistically do, I personally believe, is add a running back in the draft, because Mike McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan, they've always been able to show that they're going to go the running back by committee. I do not want this team to go out and spend big in free agency or even trade for a big-name running back, because I've seen it. Shanahan, Mike McDaniel system, you don't need a regular household name guy. Let's go to Carter Rimmer. Should the Dolphins go for Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin, Ryan Jensen, Allen Robinson, and draft Jameson Williams? Well, I'm going to say no to Leonard Fournette. I like Fournette. However, he's just going to cost too much money. So for that, I'll say no. Chris Godwin might be the top free agent receiver depending on what happens with Devante Adams. But if you want to spend $18 million on Chris Godwin, probably going to spend 15, 16, 17 million on Ryan Jensen. Allen Robinson, I'm going to go best bang for your buck. I'm going to go A-Rob because that guy also can block, which is going to be an important asset for receivers in this offense. And I like Jameson Williams, but if I'm going to go out and spend big on Allen Robinson or a top receiver, I'd rather go with another player in the draft. Let's go to Alex Maldo. Why do you hate Tua so much, Mitchell? Well, first off, it's Mitchell with 2 L's, and if only you could see it down there below. No, I'm kidding. I don't hate Tua Tagovailoa, and I don't want that to come across. But what I do not understand is blind loyalty. And we deal with it a lot here at Chat Sports when people become infatuated with a player. But I honestly think that a lot of Miami Dolphin fans, not that they should dislike Tua, but the whole tank for Tua thing started in 2019. And if, let's just say the rumors are true that Brian Flores had to lose on purpose to go out and get a top quarterback, to go out and get Tua, when you see that Tua is just simply not the dude, and I look at the characteristics, I don't see a quarterback that's ever going to be top 16. And then when you see the guy that got drafted behind him at Justin Herbert, that should tick off a lot of Dolphins, because Tua is not only impacting now, he could be impacting years to come. And the most important thing in life is time. And I personally believe the longer Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback of the Dolphins, you're just wasting your time, because he's never going to win a Super Bowl. He's not that dude. Here's my question to all y'all. Are you happy with Tua as the Dolphins quarterback? I think Jeff just put this on screen to get me roasted, but you know what? It's all good. I can handle it. Be honest with me. Be honest with yourself. Are you happy Tua is the Dolphins quarterback? Here's the final question on today's show, and it's from Aaron Patel. Appreciate it. Can the Dolphins be champions and win the Super Bowl of 2023 and win the division? I saw this question come in, and I saw a lot of the responses reply to Aaron and say, no, laugh out loud, this and that. My answer is yes. The Dolphins can absolutely win the Super Bowl. They can absolutely be champions. Think about it. The Cincinnati Bengals had the #1 overall pick. I get they didn't win the Super Bowl, but they had 4 wins last year. They were able to put a lot of good pieces around their main guy, quarterback Joe Burrow. I get it, Tua's not Joe Burrow. But at the end of the day, if let's just say a Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson wanted to come to Miami and you were able to get your hands on one of those dudes, then yes, if you put good players around him in the offensive line, wide receiver, running back, because I'm telling you right now, you get Wilson, you get Watson. That question I got earlier, will free agents want to come here? Yes, absolutely. People would want to come to Miami and play with one of those guys. So unless your quarterback's not named Tua, if Tua's the quarterback, I'll say no. If you can go out and get somebody else, then yes, the Dolphins have a logistic chance.